Bonjour, I'm Karen.
And I'm Tim, and welcome to another episode of Living a French Life. Well, I'm winding down my last few days of bachelor time here in Glandine. Karen is going to be coming back from Florida in just a few days. So excited. We're going to have a segment with Karen where she's going to tell us on one of the things that is not so great about moving from the United States to France. And in our second segment, finally, Xavier and I installed the Clés de Tirant. And then I looked over here and I saw these large cracks in the plaster. And if you can see where the plaster's been taken off, there's actually some cracks in where the stones have been put together. And that means that this whole wall right here has been moving this way. Now, that could just be from over the years. It could be because they dug some land out on the other side and it caused a weak spot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to be moving now, and we're going to sturdy it all up with a system of tie rods and anchors, wall anchors. You might have seen these in California or in South Carolina. They call them earthquake bolts. The idea is that you've got a plate, you've got your wall, so you make a plate that goes against the wall, and you have a rod that goes all the way through to the other side of the house with another plate. And you just kind of gently squeeze it together. We're not going to try to move this wall back into position. I talked with the structural engineer about that, and he said, you have to do that very slowly. He said it might take up to 10 years to get the stones to go back into place if you want to do it in such a way that you don't get what the French mason that we brought out called tombe, tumble. The whole wall would fall down. So we don't want that to happen. So all we're going to do is just stabilize it. We're going to have one just above this level and just below this level. And that's going to just hold the whole building together, keeping it nice and safe and allowing us to put in Karen's fantastic French doors. Now, to be fair, Xavier did most of it. He's the one who knew exactly what he was doing. But I was a really good assistant, and I took a lot of video. So we'll have that, and it's going to be fantastic. So like and subscribe, set your alerts, and let's go see what Karen has to say.
Yeah, I miss my pups. Gonna take a little walk here. It's lovely. But it's not home. I have been so fortunate to have had this time with my mom here in Southwest Florida. I'm ready to get back home, but it's been really lovely. This is the perfect time of year to be in Florida. I wilt in the summer. It's not my cup of tea then, but this time of year, it's perfect. I like to be able to help out with a few minor sort of remodeling things and changes to decor here and to help her out. But it's time to get back home. I have a lot of work to attend to. One of the things I think is important for people who are thinking about living abroad, and that is you're going to be far from friends and family, and you have to think about that. It's the biggest challenge for us. Fortunately, our children are close by, and I have a lot of extended family in Europe. But if you're leaving close relatives and dear friends someplace else in order to live abroad, you're going to have an adjustment there. So make sure you can do what you need to do to save for that plane ticket every year so you can get back to see folks and in a surrounding that, you know, that's familiar for you. I love living abroad. I love France, and so for me it works out great. But it's something to think about. If you're going to live abroad, you're going to have to be far from friends and family. You've got to make sure that you're okay with that.
Big day today. Looks like the Clés de Tirant are going to go in. Xavier is getting set up. We're going to be drilling some holes in the stone. We're going to run some long bars through, and then we're going to attach the Clés de Tirant. What Xavier is doing right now is setting up ladder jacks. This is a way to set up a plank across two ladders so that he will be able to walk back and forth without any worries about falling. Also will save him some time. It's sort of like a poor man's scaffold. That is a big drill and a big drill bit. Look at the size of that thing. Whoa! So my foot is 13 inches long, so that gives you an idea how big this thing is. Xavier says that it is 1 meter long, which is, a little over 3 feet, 39 and some inches. So that is a big thing. And it needs to be because our walls are 60 centimeters thick. And it's got to be able to go all the way through. So these are the bars that we picked up yesterday at the metal yard. And what Xavier has done is welded on 3 layers of welding for extra strength, welded on this threaded rod onto the end. Now what he's going to do is he is going to drill the holes in the walls, fish these through the holes with the threaded end, and then attach on, then weld onto the other end the part that is going to be the tightening mechanism for the Clés de Tirant. Ay, ay, ay. Well, always the problem with an old house. The stones are not held together really, really well. And that's a load-bearing wall, so the good thing is that Xavier knows his stone. He is marking where he's going to be cutting the bars so that he can add in the turnbuckle part of the Tirant. Okay.
Là, ça commence à bander. Ah, je laisse le pied dessous. Là, on commence à bander sévère. C'est pour arriver à le prendre. Pas trop non plus tirer pour baisser le nez. Ah!
Eh oui.
C'est pas mal là, je pense.
Oh oui, ok.
Attends, il va encore un peu, mais. Eh, attends, ah, après, de toute façon, il va falloir le resserrer. Quand ils auront fait là, le truc là. Mais pour le moment. Ah!
And so you can see the Clés de Tirant have been successfully installed, and they look pretty much the way we wanted them to. The only thing we have to do now is a little bit of
black matte paint on the nuts and the washers, and it'll all just kind of blend right in.
Déjà pour le 6, c'est pas mal.
Ouais. En plus, il est bien là. Ouais.
Good?
What?
Okay.
So, our big takeaways from today's episode. Number one, Karen's coming home. Gotta love that. Number two, the Clés de Tirant are in, and that means that the walls are now sturdy and we can get on with the rest of the demolition. We can take out that interior wall that's been kind of blocking up the space, so you can count on that one for next week's episode. Also coming up shortly, don't necessarily have it scheduled in just yet, will be the installation of the septic system, the installation of the I-beams down in the cov to give more support for the rest of the house. Additionally, since spring is coming, once the flowers come out and things are starting looking pretty, we'll give you a tour of the hamlet and maybe even take you into Bagnac-sur-Soleil, take you down and see the Wednesday market. In the meantime, so that you will know when all of those things are going to happen, make sure you like and subscribe and click the little bell so you get the alerts when the new episodes drop. And we'll be back next time on Living a French Life.
Until next time, à tout à l'heure.
It's a pretty clean morning. I take a walk outside.
Oh my God, my hair's a wreck. Let's do this thing. Here we go. All right. Okay. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. All right, here we go. Crazy hair. All right, here we go. No. I should probably, like, get a haircut.